Talk to me. WSRadio.com.
The San Diego Council on Literacy brings you Literacy for All with your host, Jose Cruz.
Welcome to the show. I'm Jose Cruz from the San Diego Council on Literacy. This is the Literacy for All radio show on WS Radio, and we have a couple of guests with us today from the Molina Foundation. Here, I'm getting warmed up, you guys. Is the Vice President of Network and Business Development, Rachael Orose.
Thanks for having me.
I'm so glad you're here. And then on the line, Amanda Bonds, are you there? Okay, so no Amanda. I think she's going to be calling in, or we're hooking her up. Anyway, she's the program director for Words Alive, and we'll get her on in just a minute. Anyway, Rachael, so glad to have you with us to talk about what you're doing at the Molina Foundation. Maybe just some basics about the organization, because a lot of us know Molina Healthcare, and I know you have to answer the question, what's the difference between Molina Healthcare and Molina Foundation? Tell us what that's about.
Sure, no problem. So thanks again for having me.
Oh, you bet.
Thrilled to be here. The Molina Foundation is a national nonprofit organization. We were started about 15 years ago by a family physician. And as a family physician, she recognized the connections between education and health. And she saw the fundamentals of literacy, and her focus was on trying to improve literacy skills to improve health outcomes. And so when you think about literacy as a social determinant of health, it's a really important and critical aspect. So for 15 years, we've been working in this space to reduce disparities in access to education and health. One of our signature programs is called Book Buddies. Mm-hmm. And through Book Buddies, we distribute brand new books to community agencies serving kids from low-income families. We've given away just over 5.5 million brand new books to kids in need, which is really fun.
That's amazing.
I love it.
Yeah.
And we are in conversation about creating new resources, because what we're finding from a lot of these community agencies we work with across the country is we're realizing that there's a gap in the resources that exist, especially high interest, low literacy, bilingual tools for families, and thinking about what resources they might need to focus on kindergarten readiness or health outcomes and what we can do to help.
Well, you're talking our language. I mean, there's a couple of things happening here, and one of those is the connection between quality of health and education. So, it's just a good place for us to be, a conversation to be having, and a good investment. And then the other part being the resource gaps. That we don't talk about achievement gaps anymore, that we know what we're dealing with is a resource gap. And then when you give children the same things that achieving children get, then they do the same things. So we're trying to close those gaps. I think Amanda's on the phone now. Amanda, are you with us?
I sure am.
Oh, my God. All right. It's Amanda Bonds, and welcome to the show, Amanda. So glad to have you.
Thank you for having me.
You bet. And so Amanda is, again, the program director at Words Alive, and she is part of this show because she's working, and her organization is working, Words Alive is working with the Molina Foundation on some projects. So we want to talk about those a little bit in this first segment, and then more in this segment. But let's cut to some of the newer things that are taking place. And Amanda, come in anytime in the conversation, because we want to know just how Molina Foundation is working with other literacy groups, and then the value that Molina brings to what you're doing at Words Alive, Amanda. So, and I know very good. And so that one of the new things happening, as I understand it, with Molina Foundation is you're not just getting books down, giving them out to people, and the Council on Literacy has been a beneficiary of those books, but you're generating content.
We are, and it's very exciting. So we, for years, have heard feedback from our community partners that have said the resources that we're looking for don't exist. We can't find them. We're having trouble finding the tools for our families to put them on the right track. And so the more and more we heard about it, the more and more we realized, there's something here. So we partnered with the Larry and Helen Hogue Foundation. They funded us to look at this, specifically kindergarten readiness. So what we know is that kids from low-income families are not as prepared for kindergarten as their upper-income or more wealthy counterparts. Mm-hmm. And so the Hogue Foundation funded us to sort of dig into this, and we looked at the research, and the research backed exactly what we were thinking and what our partners have told us, that the resources or the kids just aren't ready. And then we decided to reach out to the experts. So we did a survey of 140 kindergarten teachers coast to coast. And we said, you're the experts. You know what skills you expect kindergartners to have and what they're actually entering your classroom with. And many of these kindergarten teachers were in Title I or low-income elementary schools, many here in San Diego. And so we looked at these gaps, and we said, we've got to be able to help. And so what we did is we created an activity book called On My Way to Kindergarten. It's a bilingual activity book, English one side, Spanish the other, and it's got the basic skills that these kindergarten teachers told us are missing in the day-to-day resources that they're able to provide. And so my favorite part about the activity book is in the middle, there's this pull-out poster that's got a set of criteria that is based solely on what those kindergarten teachers told us are missing. And what I'm excited to have Amanda join us, because Words Alive is actually using this in their program and providing this resource to families. And so, Amanda, I'm thrilled that you are able to join us and to share sort of your thoughts of how this is changing the dynamic of your program.
Thank you so much, Rachel. So the amazing thing is that this has been such a wonderful connector resource that has helped us leverage, our own budget in our organization and our program to do more with. So one thing that I want to give you a high five over the radio for is for making it so affordable, because we were able to really double down on how much we could get out into the community. And families, we just gave it out to families for the first time several weeks ago as part of a graduation for our family literacy program. And for context for that, our programming at Words Alive is focused on helping the community, youth, families, and children develop a love of reading, a commitment to reading, because we know that when there's joy connected to it, and when that motivation is internal, it can really drive the process of becoming a strong, independent, and capable reader, and changes the way kids see themselves, the way they see people in their community, and the way they connect to the world. So we found a similar thing, that all the families we work with in our program want good things for their kids, but kids, as we know, don't come with instruction manuals, and even if the intent was certainly there, but a lot of families weren't really sure with the what to do. So in our family literacy program, we focus on sharing digestible, actionable bits of information around child development, especially literacy and language development, and we focus on experiences that are oriented around play and finding ways to make reading aloud more playful so that it becomes a treasured and guarded and celebrated habit at home, because we know that habit, once it takes root and it keeps going in a family, makes reading just part of what you do in your family and can really help kids arrive at kindergarten without a gap to close. We won't have to close that gap if kids don't arrive at kindergarten, in the face of one. So in our family literacy program, the last week, when we give out the kindergarten readiness toolkit from the Molina Foundation, families have been with us for about 2 months, every week trying new skills, new things to bring reading at home alive and making it a participatory experience. So the last day, celebration is a big part of what we do when families graduate. And we pair the Molina toolkit with school supplies that they can use to complete those activities. So things like scissors and glue and crayons and watercolors and things like that. And in the past, we'd used one that was much more focused on ideas for parents. And what we love about the Molina toolkit or the Molina booklet for families is that, one, it's bilingual, comes in English and Spanish, like you said, which families have really loved. But it also it's like an activity book for the kids themselves. So it makes them very proud to take it home and A couple of them are calling it their homework. I think they were thinking about their older siblings. But the kids themselves were excited to get their hands on it. And that was a really special thing, because if we can plant that seed too, it's going to be a lot easier for parents to help kids be excited and motivated to complete the activities.
Yeah, and and what's occurring to me as I'm listening to both of you is that the things, Amanda, that you're describing, it may seem like a standard in the home or in a school. And for a lot of families, a lot of communities, it's not. So when we're talking about the On My Way, the book, On My Way book, On My Way to read that, I'm reading the upside into kindergarten book, and then the things that you're supplying through Words Alive, we're really talking about, we really are talking about filling that resource gap and getting kids into reading, making this part of what they do, and they love it. I have to tell you guys, we'll take a break in just a second here, but what I have to tell you, and Rachel, we're so grateful to you and the Molina Foundation, we do get requests for books all the time, and the one area where we struggle is getting those bilingual books. Again, as Amanda said, these are affordable, they're hands-on, things are big in the book. It's words, it's colorful, it's in 2 languages, and it really meets the prescription. It fills a real gap that's out there. So we're really grateful for that. We're gonna come back for break in just a second, and I'm going to ask you both a personal question, and I'll give you a clue, because you're both relatively new moms. And just I'm going to ask you, have you used these books, and what do you see in the way of learning, what's happening with your kids and how that ties into the work that you're doing. So we'll be back. I'm Jose Cruz. This is the Literacy for All radio show on WS Radio, the worldwide leader in Internet talk.
You take your smartphone almost everywhere you go. Now WSRadio.com can be there too. Search WS Radio in the Play Store for your Android devices or iTunes for Apple, and download the WS Radio application. WSRadio.com, on your phone and in your ear everywhere you go. Download the WS Radio application. Do it now. It's very easy. WSRadio.com.
Looking to be a successful entrepreneur? The virtual assistant industry continues to be a top choice for those looking to start their own business. The problem can be how to become a virtual assistant. Many turn to the Bible of the VA industry, the book, Virtual Assistant, the series, and it's the perfect guide for office managers, executive assistants, and other administrative professionals looking to make the transition from employee to successful business owner. Go to vatheseries.com to get your copy today.
Small businesses are the lifeblood of America's economy. Every Thursday, SBA Radio interviews industry professionals and is dedicated to provide small businesses with timely insights and innovations. Visit www.sbaradio.us for details.
Homeless veterans and their families are suffering and need our support, but many won't ask or don't know that help is within reach. Veterans Community Services is here to help. Amazingly, about 35% of the homeless in our neighborhoods are veterans with families. Low-income veterans or their friends are encouraged to contact Veterans Community Services and reach out for help with housing and other services. Call now, 800-974-9909.
I raised $8,000 to build schools for South African children. After realizing how many people go hungry in San Diego, I now volunteer at a food pantry.
I'm spending the next year doing volunteer projects across 3 countries and helping in ways they designate to be the most helpful.
The World Link program at the Joan B. Kroc Institute for Peace and Justice recognizes the potential of youth as agents of social change. Learn how you can help youth become a generation of leaders in action at peace.sandiego.edu.
Can you imagine a world without children? A world where children don't play, or dream, or imagine.
At St. Jude Children's Research Hospital, we're working every day to find cures for diseases that strike down children, because we can't imagine a world without children. Can you?
Finding cures, saving children. St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. To learn how you can help, log on to our website, stjude.org.
Donate cash, furniture, clothes, and other gently used household items to Father Joe's Villages and get a nice tax break in April. Every donation is tax deductible. Believe you can make a difference. Be Father Joe. Go to neighborhood.org or call 1-800-HOMELESS to donate today.
Talk to me. WSRadio.com.
The San Diego Council on Literacy brings you Literacy for All with your host, Jose Cruz.
Welcome back. I'm Jose Cruz from the San Diego Council on Literacy. This is the Literacy for All radio show, and we're talking to Amanda Bonds. She's the program director at Words Alive, and also Rachael Orose, who's the vice president of Network and Business Development at the Molina Foundation, and just having a good time chatting about the new content that the Molina Foundation is producing. That on top of the books that they give out to nonprofit organizations, and again with the aim of providing children with the foundation really to succeed in school and breaking cycles of illiteracy and poverty and such. So it's all very exciting. But I had said I would ask you both about your experiences as moms, because children, here you see children learning. How does being a mom help you with the work that you're doing? Amanda, I'll start with you, and just tell us how old. I think, do you have 2 children now?
Mm-hmm. I have a daughter named Starling, who's 4.5, and a son named Dashiell, who is 11 months.
Now, are they both reading now? I'm kind of kidding you.
Starling, yeah, Dashiell is more into chewing on books. But Starling is getting excited about trying to sound some things out, but she recognizes her letters, that kind of thing. Definitely not reading, though.
Very good. And what's one observation, and then I'll go back to Rachael, what's one observation you've made about being a mom and seeing how providing a stimulating environment is beneficial for kids, how strong they are as learners at that particular age, that whole critical period that we talk about?
Well, I think the I have the wonderful benefit of being able to use my kids as my guinea pigs for a lot of the things that we do in our programming for families with young children. And one of the things that I it probably sounds cliche, but I really do feel like I learn more from her than she learns from me. But what I feel like my observation has been how easy it can be to just mirror her curiosity, and that kind of creates its own feedback loop, its own back and forth when it comes to my ability to model being a curious, engaged person in the world who wonders things about the things I see and about the stories we read, and how that really resonates with her. And I start seeing her asking those kinds of questions herself when we're reading stories together, things that might not necessarily be in the words on the page, but things that she might be wondering about the characters or things she sees in the illustrations. And one of the things we try to celebrate in our family literacy program is that helping kids fall in love with learning doesn't have to be hard. It should be the weight should be lifted for parents to make sure that they see the honoring curiosity as a very natural, easy thing to do.
Very good. So the more you learn, the more curious, the more you're, and the reason I asked the question is because, again, in a lot of homes and such, it's not happening the way you've described, Amanda. Rachael, how about yourself?
So Ellie's 14 months old, and Amanda, you mentioned it earlier. Kids don't come with instruction manuals. I keep looking for it and hoping it will show up in the mail, but it's definitely not there. She is a very exciting 14-month-old, and her favorite toys are books. And so one of her favorite things to do is to reach up and pull books off the bookshelf and flip through the pages and imitate her dad and I who read to her. It sounds a little bit like blah, 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 but it's hilarious nonetheless. What I really love about her and her friends and her cousins is how much they like to explore the world. And I think one of the things that I've learned being a new mom is that there is nothing as exciting as the fun that it is being a kid. And so as Ellie explores and as she reads and as she practices different skills, it's fun for her. There's lots of laughter and playfulness and games. And I think that's really drove a lot of my input into, as we created On My Way to Kindergarten, is the fun piece. There's plenty of curricular resources and checklists and toolkits that are not necessarily as fun as a lot of the resources that the Molina Foundation creates. And I think that's one of those super neat things. I also think being a mom is one of the coolest and hardest jobs in the whole entire universe.
Right.
But I really think in our house, reading stories is something we do constantly. And I have been working in the literacy field for 20 years and working in giving away books for 20 years in a variety of different organizations. And I can't even fathom what it would look like for a family growing up without any books, especially now as I watch Ellie flip through the pages and be really, really excited about it. There's a study that came out from Ohio State University just last week that said kids who are read 5 books a day hear 1.4 million words by the time they reach kindergarten, and kids who aren't read to at all hear maybe closer to 4,000 words by the time they reach kindergarten. And what's neat about books, right, is that opens up an entire vocabulary that doesn't happen in day-to-day conversation. So Ellie can read about polar bears, and she can read about aerodynamics, and she can read about fractions. And, she's 14 months old. And I think that's one of the neat, magical things about these resources. And as we're trying to fill resource gaps, is really give kids a way to explore the world.
I just have to say the children just being children make it easy for us. And so, there's a book by John Holt. It's probably an old one. I've read a few of these. He's an educator, well known. And the title of the book is How Children Fail. And really, we kind of almost have to go out of our way to not give them the things that they need to succeed because they want to learn. As you said, and I have to save that quote. Books are her favorite toys, and man, we don't hear that enough. and we should be. It's just that part of it is our society and our culture and such. But the other is just we need more books out there for kids. It's a simple intervention, and we tend to complicate things when all we have to do is give kids that stimulating early start. And so you all, myself included, and you, Rachel and Amanda, we're all in the position where we're seeing the impact that these simple interventions are having. So congratulations on your work and such. We have a few minutes to go, but I did want, Amanda, anything you want to say about what you're doing at Words Alive, and then more about Molina Foundation and then how people can be in touch with you if they want to access what Words Alive is doing or if they want copies of On My Way to Kindergarten. So, Amanda, you first.
Words Alive is celebrating our 20th anniversary this year.
Congratulations.
And thank you.
And how long have you been? I meant to ask, how long have you been with Words Alive, Amanda?
It will be 10 years this December.
All right.
Which I was surprised how fast the decade went by. But, when you're having fun, time flies. So we're celebrating 20 years of helping the community fall in love with reading, making sure that they have positive, rewarding experiences to connect with reading and the people who share those stories with them. And in our 20th year, we're really looking forward to new community partners that are helping us continue our work, just like the Molina Foundation. We've gotten book from in the past, too, so thank you for that, Rachel. And we're always looking for, our website is www.wordsalive.org, and we have a volunteer force of about 500 dedicated people who help us forward our mission in the community. And we're always looking for more caring adults who are interested in helping kids connect with a great story. So if you're interested in reading aloud with the little ones, helping with parent education, or connecting with teens through reading and writing, we'd love to have you on board as a supporter.
And how do people get in touch with you at Words Alive, Amanda?
The most comprehensive way would be to visit our website to see what volunteer opportunities are currently open. We're very active on social media. If you just want to kind of glean what we're up to see what we're about and what we are focusing on, we're very active on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and our office is located here in Pacific Beach, and our programming is across San Diego County and Orange County, and you're always welcome to stop by.
Very good. And you're at wordsalive.org on the internet. And I just want to congratulate all of you for your work there. Look at the mission statement. At Words Alive, we open opportunities for life success by inspiring a commitment to reading. And it sounds soft and nice, but you're very data-driven. You have outcome measures and outcome information that shows the real impact that your organization is having on the families and the children that you're serving. So thank you for your work. Rachel.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And just some last words about the Molina Foundation. We have about a minute.
Sure. So if folks are interested in On My Way to Kindergarten and how they can learn more about it and purchase it, you can visit onmyway.org, and it's got all of the resources there. You can learn more about the Molina Foundation at Molina, M-O-L-I-N-A, molinafoundation.org, and it will tell you about our programs and our resources. Folks are welcome to reach out to me directly. I answer contact@molinafoundation.org email addresses, or give us a call. We're happy to chat. The Molina Foundation, what's so exciting is we published this in September, and we are on a path to publish more resources focused on the arts and health and kindergarten readiness and numeracy to continue to fill those gaps that we hear. And we're so thrilled to be able to partner with agencies just like Words Alive all over the country. And Amanda, thanks for the great work you're doing for kids here in San Diego. We really appreciate your dedication and commitment to our families right here in our neighborhoods.
It's been so fun to have you both on the show. My regret is we probably could have done a few more segments. We'll get you both back. Anyway, so glad to have Rachel and Amanda on the show. I'm Jose Cruz. You've been listening to Literacy for All radio show on WS Radio, the worldwide leader in Internet talk.
Nowadays, internet devices are an integral part of your home. Everyone in your family has a smartphone, tablet, or a computer. Life is easier knowing that all your devices are secured and your family can surf the internet carefree. ESET Multi-Device Security Pack does just that. One license for all your devices. With ESET, it's simple to stay protected and save money. Enjoy safer technology with ESET Multi-Device Security Pack at ESET.com. That's ESET.com.
On the internet, your business's reputation can be unjustly destroyed in an instant. Don't wait for that to happen. Building and marketing your 5-star reputation can increase your business by as much as 19%. Take control of your reputation and have the 5-star reputation you deserve with Reputation Marketing Solutions by DSI Development. Become the go-to company by visiting 5starrepmarketing.com. The number 5starrepmarketing.com.
Hey, it's Catherine from Listen Local Radio. Moe's Guitars has proudly served the San Diego music community since 1975. Specializing in guitars, basses, mandolins, banjos, and ukuleles, they buy, sell, trade, and consign. If you're looking for lessons, repairs, accessories, and cool gear, you found the right place. Located in downtown La Mesa Village, stop by and check out their digs or visit moesguitars.com or their Facebook page. mozeguitars.com, 619-698-1185.
Tired of presentations with no impact, no inspiration, and no traction? Do dull speakers have you and your team disengaged and distracted by smartphones? Christopher McAuliffe brings energy, insights, and 2 decades of experience, delivered with punch, humor, and heart. Your team will leave energized, uplifted, and with a sense of purpose. Visit ChristopherMcAuliffe.com to bring some heat to your next speaking engagement. McAuliffe. ChristopherMcAuliffe.com.
Nowadays, internet devices are an integral part of your home. Everyone in your family has a smartphone, tablet, or a computer. Life is easier knowing that all your devices are secured and your family can surf the internet carefree. ESET Multi-Device Security Pack does just that. One license for all your devices. With ESET, it's simple to stay protected and save money. Enjoy safer technology with ESET Multi-Device Security Pack at ESET.com. That's ESET.com.
Tired of presentations with no impact, no inspiration, and no traction? Do dull speakers have you and your team disengaged and distracted by smartphones? Christopher McAuliffe brings energy, insights, and 2 decades of experience, delivered with punch, humor, and heart. Your team will leave energized, uplifted, and with a sense of purpose. Visit ChristopherMcAuliffe.com to bring some heat to your next speaking engagement. McAuliffe. ChristopherMcAuliffe.com.